Hello guys, welcome to your lower body focus workout. Today we are using our own body weight to sculpt, tone, and strengthen our glutes, our hamstrings, our inner and outer thighs. And you already know with my classes and with Pilates in general, we always get that bonus core work as well. Today's practice is gonna move through exercises that not only activate and work our muscles, but movements that also really mobilize our joints and help to reset our hips so we feel really comfortable and confident in the body. Let's hop right into it. Come to your back. You're gonna come all the way down to the mat. It wouldn't be a lower body power series without some bridge. This bridge variation is a really nice warm up for our hips as well. So you're gonna have your knees bent, feet planted, and the feet are fairly close to each other, and hands are on either side of your hips. We're gonna take a nice big inhale through the nose as we start to flatten the back. You're gonna exhale out the mouth as you tuck the tailbone under, connecting to the core as you roll up into your bridge. Take a moment here to drop your ribs. Hips are gonna stay high and still as the knees open apart. You're gonna keep the legs apart as you lower the hips back down. Once the hips reach the mat, you're gonna bring the knees back together. You're gonna exhale, lift straight up. Inhale, we open the knees apart. And then exhale, you begin to lower the hips back down. Inhale, bring the knees together. Exhale, curl right back up again. So take it really slow, doing one piece at a time of this combo. Good. Notice if you're lifting from your belly, your ribs, or your chest, or if you can start to lift instead from your hip bones and that pelvis. We want to tuck under so we isolate more of that glute max. Good, we're just going to do a few more here. Finish one piece of the combo before you begin the next piece. You should start to feel those outer glutes turning on. Last two. And then the next time the hips are up, you're gonna open the knees apart, drop your ribs, squeeze your glutes 1 inch higher, and then we're gonna pulse the knees apart. So open and then close just an inch before opening back up again. Keep lifting hip bones high. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees are gonna stay apart as you lower the hips. Knees come back together one more time. Tuck the hips under, lift to the top of your bridge. And then we're gonna pulse it out here. So hips drop an inch, then they lift all the way back up an inch. Good. Digging into those heels. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way back down. Give your knees a nice big hug, stretching out the hamstrings. Big restorative breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it all go. You're gonna bring your hands to the back of your thighs, and you're gonna rock yourself up to seated. Swing your legs around, and find your tabletop position. We wanna start with those hips stacked over your knees. And we're gonna come on to our right forearm. So I want the right forearm parallel with the short side of your mat, and we still want that shoulder over your elbow. Left hand can be slightly boxed out, pressing down for support. And then we're gonna open through the hips as we float that left leg up and away from the body, pointing the toes. Keep your bottom rib cage lifted. We're gonna take an inhale through the nose as we bring left elbow and knee together. And then we're gonna exhale out the mouth, left toes shoot up and away. Inhale, feel that engagement through the waistline as knee travels in. Exhale, shooting toes to that 45-degree angle, lifting it high enough to hit the glute. Take it at this speed, slow and controlled. If the knee doesn't touch all the way in to the elbow, that's totally fine. We just want to create that shape. And we want to maintain control through the rest of the body. So if you notice that you're tipping or swaying as the leg moves, try to slow it down and connect to your core a little more. Good, almost there. Pointing toes, this is your last one. Next time that leg is lifted to that 45-degree angle, you're gonna find little lifts. Maybe halfway down, all the way up. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift and squeeze. You want your gaze around your hands. That's probably the most comfortable for the neck. Give me 4, 3, connect to that bottom waistline, and 1, we're gonna add it together in a combo. This is the final progression in this series. We inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, shoot toes up and away. We're gonna tap toes all the way down on the mat this time. Then we're gonna lift right back up and reset. In, out, lower, lift. In, out, lower, and lift. 2 more times. Only 5 in total for this combo. You got it. Give me 1 more round just like that. Feel that side booty, inner and outer thighs. You're gonna finish with your final lift, and then you can bring that knee back in. You can either find a child's pose or a seated position, whatever feels better for you. Once you're there, if you're in seated, you can roll your shoulders out. If you're in child's pose, it might feel good to turn your palms up to release any tension through the upper body. And then after 1 more restorative breath, we're gonna do that exact same thing on the other side. So from here, we're gonna come onto our left forearm. Make sure that arm is parallel with the short side of the mat, elbow underneath your shoulder, and that right hand is slightly boxed out. You're gonna start to open your hips as that right leg floats up and away to that 45-degree angle with pointed toes. Take a moment, keep that chest lifted here. We inhale, right knee travels towards that right elbow, exhale, shoot the toes up and away. Breathe. Lengthening through the leg as it extends. Prioritizing stability through that core. We're getting oblique work, like I promised. Every time that knee travels in, it's like we're doing a side crunch while still maintaining length through that torso. We have 3. Good, press down into that left elbow so chest and core are lifted. 2. This is your last one. You're gonna keep that leg nice and high. Take a moment. We're gonna lower the foot halfway down, lift and squeeze that 45. Drop and lift with control. Good, try not to lean too much to the left. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna finish strong 5 rounds of our combo. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, shoot toes up and away. Hold for a moment, we tap the toes down. On that back right corner of the mat, lift straight up and repeat for 4. In, up, down, and lift. Breathe it in. Lean into that burn. We're always stronger than we think. Remember those beauty goals that we have. 2 more strong rounds. You got it. We have our last round right here. You're finishing with 1 more lift of that leg. Woo! Bring the knee in, shake it off, breathe it in. Take a couple moments to let that heart rate come down. Maybe grab a sip of water while we reset. And then we're gonna make our way to our glutes and lower all the way down to the back again. Once you're there, feet are planted, knees are bent, hands are on either side of the hips. We're gonna let the knees fall apart, so we're on the outer part of those feet. Keeping the knees apart, connecting to your core, tucking hips. We're gonna lift up into our frog bridge. So we're lifting straight up with the knees apart, but not letting that chest rise or the belly balloon. We're still keeping it anchored. At the top of that bridge, once you hold for a moment, you're gonna bring your knees back together. They're still hip distance apart, feet are flat, and then you roll down with the legs in parallel. We open the knees at the bottom. We exhale, lift straight up, knees apart. Pull legs to parallel, roll it down. So it's the exact opposite combo of what we did at the very beginning of our practice. Think about each piece of this combo as an individual exercise. So they're not blending together. We're not rushing through it, one thing at a time. And then noticing any differences between this version of bridge. We don't often do it in my other classes, but with the knees apart, you're gonna get a little more outer glute. You're gonna feel it in a slightly different area. So I want you to get super present and notice how you feel. Can you go a little deeper with it? 3 more rounds. Good. You're gonna lift. You're gonna bring your knees together in parallel. We're gonna find those pulses. Down an inch, up an inch. As you lift, you're connecting to your core, tucking or rolling your hips under. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna roll your hips down. You're gonna open your knees apart one last time, and then we're gonna lift straight up into bridge. Hold there, hips are high, belly's low. Find those hip abduction pulses, so knees press out and out and out while you tuck and lift those hips. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring it all the way down. Give your knees that nice big hug again. Take a couple deep breaths. We only have one more series for each of our legs, and then we're all done. Hands are on the back of your thighs. Let's find that transition, rocking ourselves up to seated, and then swinging the legs around. We're gonna meet on our right shoulder in the side lying position. So once you're there, I want you to check in that your hips are in line with your shoulders and your rib cage is gonna pull back so your core starts to activate. Top hand is in front of you so we don't rock as the legs begin to move. And then we're gonna have our toes in front of us, knees bent, and we're gonna glue those toes together. Let's take a nice big inhale. As we begin to exhale, toes lift, and once they're lifted, one fluid movement, that top knee rotates up and back. So we're in this diamond shape or this clamshell shape, then everything's gonna lower together. So toes lift, top knee begins to open up and back, everything lowers. As that top leg moves, I'm not hugging the knee into the shoulder. It's still staying in line with that hip bone. And I'm also not allowing myself to rock backwards as the leg presses behind me. Good. Keep going like this. Last 5. If you ever want that physical, tangible connection to what's actually happening in the movement, you can always put your hand on your top hip bone. You can actually feel it moving and rotating back as the leg does the same. Sometimes that helps. Good. Knee presses 1 inch further back without moving the torso. Good. Last 2. Good. Last 1. And then you're gonna bring that leg all the way down, both of them. And then take a little rest for a moment. Your knees are gonna be together and your top left toes are pointed up. We're gonna take an inhale here, and then you're gonna shoot the toes up and away. We want the thigh in line with the hip bone, so you're kind of pressing back just a little bit. And then you're gonna inhale, knees come back together. Exhale, toes press up and back. Good. Check in with the belly. Are the ribs spilling forward, or can you flex your abs as the leg stretches? Bottom knee is still. As the leg starts to burn out and get heavier, think about pressing into your top left hand as the leg extends. Good. Almost there. As the burn increases, I want you to focus on it, deepening our mind to muscle connections, staying present. Give me 2 more. This is your last one. Your leg is gonna extend, hold right there, and then we're just gonna bring it forward slightly to a 45-degree angle, so it's right above our bottom toes. From here, final progression, we're gonna tap foot down and lift. We lower, inhale, exhale, lift. Good, and worry less about the height of your leg. As long as it's lifting above the hip, you're gonna hit the right muscles. But if you're focused too much on getting the leg as high as you possibly can, you might compromise the stability through the rest of the body. Focus on quality, strong reps. Last 4. Feel that very specific burn in that outer thigh. 2. 1 more big lift, hold right there, and then you can bring that knee right back. resting on that right leg. Nice work. Take a moment here, and then you're gonna prop yourself up to seated. And then let's just have the feet about hip distance or a little bit wider apart. Let's take some knee knocks to reset before we hop into that other side. Good, we'll do a couple in each direction. Good, and when that feels good, we can start to make our way to our left shoulder this time. Same setup, shoulder in line with that top hip. Legs are bent in front of us, ribs back, toes glued. Let's hop into it. Inhale, prep. Exhale, lift the toes, open that top leg up and back. Everything lowers. So think about that knee, not only lifting, but pulling backwards as well. That's how we're gonna get that outer glute activating. Good, and I always say this, by the end of any side lying series, I want you to feel quite a bit of a burn in your waistline. The waist is working to stabilize the body so we don't tip as that leg moves. Good. Pull your ribs back, return to your breath. Things are gonna get spicier in a moment, so find those grounding supportive tools. Good. Give me one more. And then that leg is gonna come all the way down just for a moment. And you're gonna bring your knees together. Top right toes are pointed up. Big breath in, exhale, shoot the toes up, away, and slightly back with that heel so you feel the glute max. Inhale, exhale, and don't cut this movement short. I like to always hold at the top and even the bottom of every movement, just so I make sure I'm fully lengthening, fully leaning into it. And when we move slow, we're gonna get more out of the movement, but we're gonna do it more properly as well. And it's almost easier. So we're working harder, but it's almost easier when we move slowly and with control. Good, 3 more. Flex abs as toes point and reach. For most of us, we're aiming towards where the wall and the ceiling meet, depending on your room, but it's a good kind of rule of thumb. This is your last one you're gonna hold at the top. Take a moment, bring that leg in front, so it's just above that bottom foot. You're gonna inhale through the nose, tap the toes. Exhale at the mouth, lift the leg. Inhale. Exhale, 1 rep at a time. That's all you need to think about. And I want you to feel the glute and that outer thigh lifting the leg. And I want you to think less about the toes reaching up. Think about the source of this movement, where the power is really coming from. Good. 4. Strong core, still bottom leg. 3, 2, 1 more strong lift. Good, and then you can bring that leg all the way down. Amazing work. Prop yourself up. Let's take a quick stretch. So let's open the legs apart into our butterfly. Knees are apart, and you can customize the resistance and the intensity of the stretch based on how far your feet are away. So if you want to make it a little easier to get into, you're pressing your feet further away and vice versa. Wherever you are, take that nice forward fold, tucking chin to throat, letting head relax. You could even gently put your elbows on your legs and guide them a little closer to the mat. Awesome, and then you're gonna come all the way up. You're gonna roll your shoulders back. You're gonna stretch your legs out. We're gonna cross our left foot to the outside of our right knee, and then we're gonna twist over our left shoulder. So we're using our elbow on that outer thigh to stretch the side of the glute. We're also resetting through the back. Good, one more breath here, twisting a little deeper. And then you can gently unravel. We'll reset the legs, right over left. Exhale, twist over right shoulder. Good, drop that right shoulder. On your exhale, twist 1 inch deeper, even if it's with the eyes. And then you can come all the way back through center. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you enjoyed. I know we definitely got the heart rate up, we worked hard, but I hope you have a moment to fully breathe in and absorb all that accomplishment and that strength. I will see you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you want, and if you ever have any questions at all, any class requests or feedback, please never hesitate to DM me on Instagram. I'll link it below, as well as my website where I share more of these on-demand classes and my meditations. Have an amazing day. I will see you soon.